I'm in the park. And it's around 6 a.m. I didn't sleep last night, so some reason I'm not tired anymore. And I'm out in the park because nobody will be here in the park at this time. And I wanted to do this to record also because there was one time where I did this like a fucking 3 years ago. It must have been around that. When I did that one video where I tried to do a review while walking through the park. Didn't really work. But the point of it being 3 years is that was my university time. I'd been in university for 3 years, and the house that I was living in those whole 3 years, which was a nice room I was in, the one with the red curtain, I mean you've seen it, that's gonna be gone. And I don't feel too sad about it going. I've noticed recently that I'm just not too sad about things changing anymore, which I think is like a natural sort of growing up thing. You get used to things changing. You get used to saying goodbye to things, so when I was a child, saying goodbye to some house, or, I mean I never said goodbye to a house, but like a holiday home or something, you were there for a week or two and then it's really sad to see it go. And you have fond nostalgic memories and it's like, oh, I don't want to, everything's changing. Just changing school is one of those things. But now, living in a house for 3 years and then never going to see it again, even though it wasn't the best house, it was a nice house. And there's someone walking up the path. Oh no, they're going the other way. The whole changing of things isn't weird anymore, and for a while that was weird. The fact that it wasn't weird. The fact that I wasn't feeling much. But yeah, I did this a while ago, walking through this exact park, talking about something, a pony thing. Yeah. And that was the beginning and the end of my thoughts on that matter. Another thing I was thinking of talking about was the fact that I spend too much time. I'm not looking at the camera at all, so if I'm cut off, that's why. Forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I'm spending too much time doing stuff that isn't productive. Like I've started during my making of the film I was doing. I started to sort that out by taking all the podcasts I kept listening to. As soon as they came out, I would listen to the podcast, and it would take 2 to 3 hours out of my day, and it was horrible. So what I did, I made a Google document, and I copied the links. Every time a new podcast was uploaded, I would copy the link and put it in there, and when I could get round to it, I would listen to it. But that was good for a time, but now all it does is give me an excuse to play games that I don't really need to listen to or pay too much attention to. So like if there's a game I want to play and I need background noise, I go to my podcast list, and there's plenty of podcasts because they keep backing up. Basically, I just have too many to listen to, and it's giving me a reason, an incentive to play things like Minecraft. I've just picked it up and started playing it again, and I'm building a ridiculously huge cathedral, and I've been doing that for the last week, and it's not a good idea to do spending that much time. I mean, it's fun, but I should be working on my YouTube stuff. So I've decided I'm going to cut those podcasts out, not all of them, just the ones that upload frequently. There's the Drunken Peasants podcast, which uploads 3 a week, and they're like at least 2 hours long each, so that's quite a lot to keep track of, keep up with. So I'm thinking of stopping that, definitely. I mean, I like it, but I think my productivity is more important than you know, because I already watch a lot of things every day. There's Kriparian makes 2 Hearthstone videos a day, and I always watch those because it's just, I prefer watching Hearthstone like that than playing it. So there's 2 of those videos a day. I've stopped watching Game Grumps. This is what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to cut out things that take up my time in a way that I used to like but realize it's probably not a good idea. So like, I've cut out the entirety of my Tumblr. I only look at Tumblr on my phone, and I only use my phone when I'm in bed about to go to sleep. So it keeps me up for another like 20 minutes scrolling through everything, but in the long run it's better than, you know, during the day clicking back to see what's new every time and stuff. So I've cut out Tumblr. I've cut out Reddit. I don't read Reddit anymore, it's boring. All I was following was Gaming, Homestuck, and JonTron. Homestuck is over, so there's not much there. JonTron is boring because it was entirely memes for a while, and they were fun for a while, but John himself is not interesting anymore. So I've cut that out, and gaming has always just been sort of, why not? So Reddit's completely pointless. So Tumblr and Reddit are gone, basically. I've cut out Game Grumps because they turn to shit also. So really the only things that eat up my time a lot are the podcast, the Drunken Peasants podcast, the Co-optional podcast, another one that I like the people on it, but I think it's just not an interesting podcast compared to other things I could be listening to. The only thing that's, I mean, there are occasionally funny moments on it, but compared to other podcasts like the Sleepy Cabin podcast, not at all worth sitting through, because it's a very slow, not rambling, but like meandering podcast that's occasionally really funny and occasionally talks on important gaming news. But if I want important gaming news, like a big thing, and I want Total Biscuit's opinion on it, he'll make a video talking about it for a certain number of minutes, and I'd much rather listen to that in the background than a podcast in which they occasionally talk about video games, and a lot of the time talk about stuff that just isn't interesting. So those are the 2 podcasts, Drunken Peasants and Co-optional. I'm thinking of just cutting them out. I'm going to remove them from my podcasts to watch list, and I'm just going to stop watching them. Now the next thing to do is to try and cut out Kriparian as well, because he makes 2 videos a day, and they're really easy to watch, and they're always interesting because it's Hearthstone, it's fun to watch for me, I like it. It replaces my need to play the game, to me anyway. I only ever play to get the card back for the month and to complete quests, but at the end of the day I don't enjoy getting new cards after an expansion hits. It just feels like a lot of work to get that much money to pay for the cards, and I want to pay the money, so I'd rather watch Crip and watch Trollden, make all those things. But yeah, so that's that. I'm thinking of other things that eat up my time, and really it's just a case of I'm trying to minimize the distractions in my life, but there's a part of me that thinks that no matter how many distractions I remove, there's always going to be more. I'm going to invent more distractions for myself. Some of you might remember this particular grassy place. I think this is where yeah, it was windy as well. In fact, the microphone might be getting blown out. Is that the microphone there? Maybe. This is where I first aired my grievances with TBAP being good. I didn't like it. Nostalgia, eh? Eh? But yeah. This place is quite beautiful. Yeah. what else is on my mind? This is just a rambling vlog. I want to cut things out of my life that take up time. So I could, things keep coming in to take over my time, because like, I got back into Minecraft for no particular reason. What I did was I had the idea to build the Undead Asylum in Minecraft from Dark Souls 1. And I did that, and then since I was playing Minecraft, I mentioned it to friends and they said, oh yeah, we opened our realm again, because you can do Minecraft realms. You could buy a monthly thing for an official Minecraft realm, so it's a server that stays up all the time. And the thing with Minecraft servers before was that my brother, which is the person I did Minecraft server stuff with, he would have to turn on his computer in order to run it, and he didn't always want to do that, so I couldn't always work on it. But with the Minecraft realms, it's always on, so I can always play on it. And I've been building and building. I wanted to impress my friends. I built a skeleton temple, and now I'm building a skeleton cathedral with stained glass windows and a huge big floor with a throne room. It's like, it's inspired by Dark Souls 3, which I've also been playing and making the occasional Let's Play about, but the Let's Plays were annoying. It didn't really work out. And in a few days I'm going back, well, not a few days, in a week, I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to have a new room, because my house has been refurbished. There's an extension being built as we speak. And I don't know. I'm gonna go back there, and my ideal was that I would be changing my ways. I would change my procrastinating ways and start actually working on stuff. And of course, it's not as easy as that. My actual work for university is finished. I've handed in my film. You can't see it yet, but I'll show you eventually. And it's like, I don't know whether I'll be able to suddenly change to be more effective at working as soon as I come home. I think I might just slump back into an easy cycle of watching podcasts, listening to podcasts and playing games while I do that, and not doing anything productive. So yeah, cutting out podcasts, trimming down to basically the only interesting stuff. And even then, I've felt like, it's not going to be easy. One thing I'm thinking of doing is try to set a schedule for myself. So I wake up at 5 or 6, and I go for a walk around the park. It takes an hour. There's a park near to our house. I would do that, then come home and have breakfast, and hopefully that would make me in the mood to work. And I would try to get into that time zone, if you will not. And the only problem is my American friends, they're always online at around midnight plus, from 10 p.m. to like 7 a.m. That's when they're most active. So actually, I guess if they're on that late, I could come back after my morning walk as they're going to bed at my work, and then I would work on a video. The thing I think I need to do is I need to separate my work from my play area. So my computer, which is where I play my games and fuck around, is something I need to change from where I work. But of course, I like working on Google Docs, which is also a computer thing. So I don't know how I would rectify that. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going down a path I haven't been before. Of course I could turn around and go back the way I came, but I haven't had breakfast yet. I see the road is coming up. Maybe I could walk in the middle of the road. Have you ever imagined, not imagined, but just considered walking in a direction and just going? Damned the consequences. and seeing how far you could go and where you would be when you ended up somewhere. I mean, in this day and age, if you have a phone and a wallet with money, then it doesn't matter where you go. You could go to a shop and buy a sandwich if you found a town. If you didn't find a town, then you're in the wilderness, mate. But like, you just picked a direction, got a compass, and make sure you kept going in the same direction. You just go. I mean, what would happen? I've imagined what would happen. I haven't actually done that particular thing. No, I have. When me and my brothers... So one time we... that's like a main road. I don't think I can walk down the main road, but... I'll turn around if I have to. My brothers... We would go for like an adventure just around the suburbs. We would just walk... It started off with us ducking behind cars to avoid the sights of cars that were driving by. Like, oh shit, there's a car, duck behind a car, whoa, he didn't see us. I mean, of course, they did see us because we were kids and we were dumb, but... Yeah. I guess I'll go this way. I think this goes back to the castle. So, yeah, we would duck behind the cars and we would pretend to be like stealth people. And that was cool. And then we just kept going. We just kept walking in directions that we hadn't gone before. We went really, really far. We got to the other side of the park that we usually go to, and we kept going through a couple more blocks of suburban houses, and then we got tired and went home. But stuff like that, just going in a direction. I like the idea of just exploring, because you think... I've thought often that it's sad that the whole world is basically all mapped out and there's nowhere left to explore. But really, a lot of the countryside, while it is already known where the things are, you don't need to bring a map with you if you don't want to. You could just go roaming, you know? You get food and water, you go for the hunt to find a cool picnic spot out in the middle of nowhere. It's perfectly doable, in fact it's great. And I would do it if I had the not the balls, but just I don't give a shit to prepare for that sort of thing. And I know how annoying it is to just go get lost and then not know how to get back, because it's happened to me before. There was this time where I me and my brothers were on holiday. We saw that we were at a cottage. I think I might have told this story before, but I know I've definitely written it down in a book, in my holiday journal book. And we just saw a hill, and we were like, let's go to that hill. It was way off in the distance, you know, the sort of distance where on a sunny day it still looks quite blue. Not quite blue, but like you can see that there's blue all over it, that sort of distance. We were like, yeah, let's go there, let's go to the top of that fucking hill. It was a blackened hill in the distance. It seemed like a sort of Lord of the Rings-esque journey. And so we walked through the farmer's field, through another farmer's field, down a hill, like a ridiculously steep, definitely you're not supposed to go down this hill, sort of hill, with thickets and brambles and an actual definite risk of one of us falling and cracking our head on a rock at the bottom and dying, or at least being very, very hurt. And that was exhilarating and scary. And we went down there and we got to the river at the bottom, and there was the valley. And then we walked up across a tarmac road, a proper road, and we went up the side of the hill, and there was a path. We found like a walk path, so we found the path we were supposed to walk if we weren't exploring. I did sort of skim over that whole farmer's field thing. We had to walk for quite a while to get to a place where we could jump over the wire fence without, you know, And the whole time, none of us had anything prepared. We were in shorts and like, well, I think I was in sandals. Like, we were not prepared for this sort of environment. It was a nice day, but it was not, we were like cuts and bruises, splinters, no blood really, but one of those cool adventures that you go on as a kid. Although I wasn't a kid, I was like 20 or 19, probably 19. But yeah, we did that. We went up the mountain, we got to the top, and then we were so tired. We were like, ugh, but we made it. And it was so windy at the top because there was no plant life. It was just a big old thing. It was a big old moorland. Well, not moorland. There were goats at the top, and there was no grass really. And there was like a small, ruined brick thing. I don't know what it could have been. It wasn't big enough to be a church, I don't think. Anyway, we got to the top, and our parents could actually see us at the top because we had bright clothing on. They saw us, and when we came home, they mentioned that they could see us, which was cool because we were so far in the distance, and the fact that they were outside looking in that direction and saw us, because we didn't tell them we were going, we just went. And yeah. So we got to the top, and we were tired at that point. We had no food, no water. We wanted to go home, and of course, getting there is half the battle. Then the other half is getting back. And since we went through a farmer's field, down a valley, we didn't want to go back up that hill. That was basically impossible for us. So we decided to follow the road, and of course, we were stupid in that we didn't quite know what the name of the farm we were staying at. It was a farm cottage we were staying at. We didn't know the name of the farm, so we wandered around for hours trying to get back to the farm without knowing the name of it. So we couldn't follow any signs. We couldn't follow any directions. We just had a vague sense of, oh, it's sort of up a hill, but over the opposite side of the hill we were on, over the river. And that took hours. We were coming back was a lot longer than getting there because we got lost. We found a cafe. We went up a whole road and we found a farmhouse that wasn't our house. But then we crossed through the field and we thought, maybe that other house over there, that other farm, maybe that's it. We crossed through these fields. At one point, we came across a bunch of lambs, a bunch of sheep shuffling about. And we cornered one of the little lambs because, I don't know, we liked it and we thought it was cute. And he was like, yeah, no, people. And it was scared and it couldn't get through the fence. But we left it, obviously. We didn't kill a lamb. Yeah. And then we got home and we climbed over like the front of the farmer's house. If anybody caught us during any of this, it would have been quite embarrassing. But thankfully, nobody saw us. We got in and we found the place of the house that we recognized, and we walked in, and it was really cool. And that was an adventure, and I love that sort of adventure because it's a cool story to tell. I mean, at least it's a nice memory to have, if it's not necessarily a cool story. In fact, Henry had he brought a stick with him because he got tired walking up the mountain. He picked up a walking stick. It was just a branch, but it was a very sturdy Gandalf-looking branch. And I think you can see it in the video. Like, we brought it with us to the cottage. He brought it with us to the cottage. We kept it in the house, and then he decided we should take it home. And we did, and you can see it in the video where I pretend to be Gandalf the Great, where I turn the thing into fire. I think it's... I'll just put a clip of it here. I hope I remember to put a clip of it there. Well, I found the castle. remember also there was a time where I woke up really early, brought my camera out, and it was like even earlier than 6. And I thought, whoa, it's dark. I go out for a walk and I answered questions. I didn't answer questions on the walk, I just took my camera for a spin. And I went to the castle and it was closed. But then you saw the castle and the house video, the tour of my house. That was the castle. That's Farnham Castle. It's a nice castle. It's not a nice... Oh, it's a nice castle. I mean, all castles are nice by the fact that they are castles, but this one isn't grand. It's just a nice little place on top of a hill. It's got a thing, and you can go around in it, and it doesn't cost you money to enter. This is a very loud road. Never really realize quite how loud cars are until you're allowed a bit of peace of them. Now, I'm pretty sure that the castle is closed still. I mean, it's probably not even 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock even. Check. Yeah, not even 7 o'clock yet. But yeah. Memories, right? This is a video of memories. I mean, I've been looking at my face this whole time. I could have been looking at other things, but my voice wouldn't have picked up as well, I don't think. The point is, I've felt like changing the things and there is no point. The point is, there is no point. Thank you for watching. The battery's going to go out soon, so I don't know how much longer I'll be able to talk for. So I may as well say goodbye right now, and then add it as a clip later, in case I get cut off. Goodbye!